Hey there, this is Katherine Cartwright. Welcome. I am sharing the newest card kit from Stamps of Life called Warm Wishes Collection. This is the October 2023 card kit from the Stamps of Life, and let me take it out of the box and I'll show you the goodies. This card kit is going to coordinate with the club kit, stamp kit, which is Crazy Sweater2stamp, and so this will all coordinate with that. So if you're a club member and you got that stamp set and die set, that is going to work great with this. So you're going to get some cute little metal hangers that go with the sweater. There's some ribbon. Here is an A1 reindeer folded die set. Super cute. So you can make a little reindeer die on there. There are some stickers. These are some kind of opaque, clearish stickers. And then these are some paper stickers that have the little crazy sweaters on there. There's some little gemstones. You get a full-sized envelope to hold everything, some regular envelopes for mailing. And then here are some of the color palette. There's some powdered sugar. We've got bubblegum, ocean, pool, and then candy. And then there's also sunshine. So a fun color palette for this that will work with all of the other elements. There is also a paper pad included that has 24 pieces in it, and there are 2 of each. So it starts with the Warm Wishes, very high quality. Now here are the pre-printed pages that are usually in the club kit, the card kit, pattern paper. And here's the club kit, that crazy sweater. And so the crazy sweater die coordinates with this little sweater. And then also the More Sweater2stamp die set, that would coordinate with the little kind of sweater vest and the little scarf. So if you have that, you'll be able to die cut that as well. But all of these work together. Okay, so I'll show you a little bit more about that in a minute. I just want to keep flipping through here. Got some beautiful snowflakes. Here are some more of these cute little elements in here, the little reindeer. There is a, what I'm going to call like a cable knit kind of pattern that is super cute. You can see on the back side of there that I'm going to use on a couple of cards. And then it starts back over again. So all of these goodies are included in this month's card kit. Okay, so I'm going to start this by actually stamping. I'll get to the pre-cut elements in a little bit, but I wanted to take a second here. When I saw this little sweater stamp set, I thought it would be so cute to make a bunch of sweaters using patterned paper. This is one of my favorite techniques on an item like this, is to stamp with it. So you can pull out any of your patterned paper. It could be, kind of a theme like this with the apples. I'm going to use some other ones that I'm going to stamp off camera as well, and I'll make some cards with that. But I love items like this because you can just stamp them, and you've got a fun little themed element here that you can use in your card making. So after I stamp this, I will die cut the sweater, and I've got a cute little apple sweater. Who wouldn't love to have a little apple sweater? I just thought that was so cute. And since we are still in fall, we're actually kind of just starting fall where I live. We went up north to New England and recently went to Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, a little tiny bit of New York, and had the best time seeing leaves and stuff. So I'm definitely in a fall, a fall theme of mind. So I just wanted to show you that, how I die cut that out, and I'll come back to that apple in a bit. All right, so I'm going to move right on to this next card. I have used this adorable background, and I have glued it down, cut it out of the sunshine, and then I have stamped a sweater using some patterned paper. This was from a card kit a couple of months ago that had the truck in it, and so I had sunflowers, and I stamped that and die cut that. So you can see that I've got a fun little patterned sweater to use to create my card. Now I've got these leftover banners as well. This was from that previous card kit, and I am going to use those to finish off my card. But I want to take a second here and add one of the metal hangers. I should have done this, don't be like me, I should have done this before I finished this section. I should have glued this down before. And then I decided, oh yeah, it would be great. It would fit on there. And so I'm just peeling this off the little red line tape. I'm just using a super sticky tape here to adhere this hanger in there. And then, of course, I'm going to push down and stick the paper to the red line tape. So I'm just going to take a second here to fix all of these little issues. So I tried to peel it back up, but since I had stuck it to the paper, I've got to use a little pin that goes in my glue top and fix that. So just to show you, not everything goes according to plan for me in the craft room, and I'm sure you experience that as well. But everything pretty much can be fixed. So sometimes it just takes a little patience. Sometimes you have to start over. But I've got that cute little hanger sticking in there in my sunflower sweater ready to go. Now I was going to pick the Happy Fall Y'all, which is definitely appropriate for me since I say y'all all the time. I'm from the South, and that is a word constantly in my vocabulary, but it didn't show up enough, so I went with have a lovely day. And so I had these leftover little sunflowers, again, from this previous card kit. I had some little elements sitting on my table that I thought would be really, really cute with this fun patterned sweater. So I'm going to take those and add a little bit of the red line tape. I was going to put liquid glue, but it would not set up quite as well. So I like to use a red line tape on a piece of felt like this. I think it sticks a little better. So that's my first card. And I promise I'm going to get back to the actual elements that are in the card kit in just a minute, but stay with me. So I had to use the candy corn, of course. It's still not quite Halloween where I am. It's getting close, but I have to make a card every year with candy corn. And this little this candy corn to cut set is a long-time favorite of mine. And of course, I had to make a sweater that has a piece of candy corn on it. Because if you watched any of my previous videos, this Halloween season, I have been talking about candy corn and whether we love it or we don't. So I'm going to do that same technique again here. I'm going to cut this piece of patterned paper out, and then I'm going to place my sweater where I want it to go on my pattern. I'm just going to try and make it kind of straight if I can. It's okay if it's not perfect, because I'm actually going to cut around this one. So let me get my ink pad here. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect because I just want the inside, so to speak, of the sweater. I don't want the top or the sleeves or the bottom. And you'll see why in just a second. I've already got another one that is stamped and cut. And now I'm going to take some sharp scissors and quickly run them around, leaving a little bit of my black border here from my dies, from my stamping. And then I'm going to use this to fill in my sweater. Okay? So I'm just doing a little bit of trimming to have a quick paper-pieced sweater. And this paper, it's probably, I think it's marigold is the color. It's a little more orange in person than it's showing on screen. So it works really well. But then I'm going to pull out my earth brown tri-blend marker and I'm going to color my sleeves, the hem of my sweater, and then the neck of it. Just to add a little something fun to it. I think it would be fun to add some, maybe if you have some kind of texture paste or something with some texture, some glitter glue. You could do a lot to the little hem and the neckline of your sweaters to kind of jazz them up. So I thought that brown would go well, and so I'm going to glue this onto there, and I have a fun custom sweater that is ready for the candy corn. Now I started adding a piece of the foam adhesive, the sheets that I use all the time, but I really didn't like the way that it looked popped up in person. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but so I just decided to glue it directly to my sweater. And it's so cute. So I have gotten my candy corn card almost made. I had to, like I said, I always have to make a card with the candy corn. This is Halloween to Build is where I got that Happy Halloween stamp. I just stamped it directly onto another piece of patterned paper, and this will go onto some orange cardstock. Very, very cute. So it's definitely a little Halloween-y, but not a scary Halloween card. So kind of a fall Halloween card. I love the way it turned out. And then I've got a couple more elements here. I've got a few more of these little puffy stickers. Again, all of these came from a card kit, previous card kit with the little, I think this was the truck. I'll try to find the name of it. I just don't, it's escaped my mind. So that's that card. All right, so I'm back with my apple sweater here. I had a apple embossing folder in my craft stash. I have no idea where it came from, but I thought it worked beautifully with what I wanted to make. So I die cut one of the apple dies. This is a Stamps of Life product. I don't think the stamps are available anymore. I think just the dies are available. I love this stamp set. I am not going to lie. I have used this apple over the years for so many things. Teacher gifts, fall gifts. It's just a classic set. So I love it. But I'm going to stamp that Love You to the Core, and then I'm going to start putting this card together. Now I've got some really old twine here. This is strawberry. I still have some. It's getting a little low, which makes me a little bit anxious, but I'm going to use it because it's my favorite red, and it works beautifully with this color palette on the sweaters and stuff. So I'm definitely going to use it, but again, I'm getting a little nervous because it's getting low after many, many, many years. So I'll have to dig around my craft stash and see if I have another one, perchance. But this could be it. But I'm going to use it. I said I'm going to use my stuff, and I'm going to use it. All right, so I wrap this twine around several times, and then I want to make a little bow topper, basically, to put in there. So I'm going to trim my tails down. I'm going to take a little bit more of my twine, take a couple of fingers, and wrap the twine around several times. And then I've got kind of a little loop, and then I will add this to my my strings here, my bow already, and I'll just tie this off. I love to make a little extra fun bow like this with twine. It just kind of gives a little bit more of dimension and just makes it a little more fun. So I'm just tying this really tight, and then I'll run it around again so that my string does not come out. And then I'll trim off, there'll be two ends, obviously, since I'm using tying them together. And then I've got a fun little bow there. All right, so now I can glue this down, and I'm going to add a lot of glue on here. You could add some foam to the back of this if you were worried about your twine not sticking. Hopefully I left enough room up there that the paper will adhere and kind of smush down my twine. It may just take a second or two to kind of adhere. You could also use some stronger adhesive, dry adhesive, to get it to stick. I added that to a piece of powdered sugar, and now this will go onto a strawberry card base. Super, super cute. Now I'm back with some foam adhesive here, and I will pop up my apple, and I will pop up my apple sweater to finish this project off. So I'm just going to add that. I'm trying to decide where I want to put my apple. I thought about putting it on the left-hand side, but since I put the bow on there, I'm just going to add the apple on the other side to kind of balance that out a little bit. And then I'll go back for a little bit more foam to pop up my apple. I'm just going to do the bottom of my apple and the far right of my apple because I want it to be on the same level as the sweater. And since I popped that up, parts of it, if I don't do the top of it, it will kind of lay nicely all at the same height. Okay, so there's that one. All right, moving right along. I've got some of these postage stamp dies. I think it's the large postage stamp. This is a newer die set to me. And I have cut that out of candy and bubble gum. And then I have also done that cute word set, Warm Wishes. I have repeated the theme of stamping a bunch of sweaters on patterned paper. So this one is Blue Jay with the little snowflakes on there. So again, a stamp like this is super fun to use up in this way because you can just make a ton of sweaters and then you have them ready whenever you want to make a card. So the Warm Wishes, you could cut those apart after you adhere them down. So if you wanted to stack the Warm Wishes, you could. I just left mine all on one strip because I liked the way that it looked. I'm going to add one of my stickers here with the tree, and then I will glue this onto my card. Super, super cute. So you could have put I could have put the little hat in there, or I could have put the little reindeer in there. So you have some options with filling your sweater. Okay, again, I'm back with the foam to pop this up. And then I will adhere this. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat tonight as I'm recording this. I had a delicious dinner, and I guess that maybe it's making me talk funny tonight. I don't know. All right, so I've got that adhered with the warm wishes. And to finish this one off, I'm going to take a couple of these stickers and just add them above and to the side of the sweater. So hopefully the recipient will like a warm little sweater in the mail. Okay, here is one more themed sweater that I used. This is Sweetheart paper pad. I've had this a long time, and I'm just trimming these papers down, and I will layer them on top. That the black one is going to be 3 3/4 by 5. Layering that. So all of my cards, except for the one I'm going to make a little bit later, or A2. So that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 is my finished card size. I always say that. I sound like a broken record. But when I watch videos, I want to know what size the card is because it gives me a reference as to the size of the rest of the elements on the card. There's some other companies that make bigger cards, like 5 by 7 traditionally, and that's not really my jam. So I really like to know what size the card is. So I pretty much say in every video what size. So A2 is pretty much my standard, and if I deviate from that, I try to let you know. Okay, I've got this little Love word die, one of my absolute favorite dies ever. Word dies from Stamps of Life. I love that font. So cute. I found a little heart here, then I cut out of glitter paper, and I am going to add this to my sweater. I'm going to move that heart up just a little bit. That red underneath I feel like is competing a bit too much, so I'm just going to cover that up to make sure my sweater looks very balanced with the heart in the middle. Okay, I'm flying along here. Here's the next one. I've got this sweater sticker sheet, and I decided to cut a piece of sunshine. I've got this on a mat, like a silicone mat, that won't stick because I wasn't sure how much I would come off the paper to create my background, and I didn't want these to stick to my craft mat and tear. So that is why I've got this mat down. It won't stick to it. So I've got all these fun snowflakes here, and I'm just going to fill my page with these snowflakes. I was going to move that one sticker, but it's really strong and it stuck to it. So I'll just have to trim that down. And then I will finish off with the rest of these snowflakes. I'm going to trim this paper down to 4 by 5 1/4 so I can easily add this to a card base. And I'm going to take my time here. I don't want to trim too much at first. I want it to look pretty, balanced, I guess you would say. Trying not to cut too much off where like one sweater is half there and the other one is fully there. So I'm just trying to take that into account as I trim that down. And I love the way that turned out. So cute. Got this cantaloupe ribbon. So pretty. It's kind of like a twill this month, but not a thick twill. It has a really soft texture to it, and it's very, very pretty. So I am enjoying this one a lot. Cantaloupe's one of my favorite colors. I never really use it that much. I don't know why, but it's one of my favorite colors from Stamps of Life. I just don't tend to reach for it that much. But so I love that it's included in this kit and that little sweater is cantaloupe and it just pulls it all together. I'm going to turn this upside down and tie my bow, and then I will trim off my tails. So that is a fun, quick, and easy card right there. And then I will add this to a piece of ocean cardstock, gluing down my ribbon. And then that Warmest Wishes for a Cool Winter, that is from the Crazy Sweater2stamp. I just stamped that onto a piece of ocean with black ink, and then I trimmed it down into a little rectangle. I'll add all of this to a powdered sugar card base. Had to think of it, a white card base here. And then I'll come back with a piece of foam to add that sentiment. So cute. So you could make a card like this bigger with the sweaters. You could stamp the sweaters and color them, but I just love the way it turned out, making a little sweater background with those stickers. And a few snowflakes, of course. Okay, so now I am finally getting, after doing all those printed sweaters I had to do, I ran away with that. I'm going to show you a few cards using elements from the card kit, which is the sweater. So I cut a bunch of sweaters. I think there were 8 of them, maybe all total once I cut them out. So now I'm going to start with a very fun, cute, easy card with a flip it. If you're not familiar with the flip it, it's a shaped card that goes together in minutes. It has this fun shape. There are tons of them in the Stamps of Life store, and they're interactive. This one is a circle, but again, there's so many in the store. And I'm just going to stick the sweater directly on there since it's kind of large. It's going to take up my circle. So that fits well. And then I cut and stamped a sunshine circle. You're cuter than this ugly sweater, and I had a few more sweaters left from that sticker sheet that I was not going to waste, and so I'm going to add them to this flip it. And then to finish this off, I've got a few more of these cute Christmas trees, and I will add these to the top and the bottom. And that is how quick and easy those flip its are. All right, next up, I have a gatefold card. This is another fun shaped card that I really enjoy from Stamps of Life that I use quite a bit. So you just cut 2 pieces and then you glue them together, and you'll see that I'm going to have a lot of trouble. I have some butterfingers this afternoon. So, of course, as I was sitting there putting those together, I'm going to drop that, and of course I did. So I got some glue all over my thing, and then it was crooked. And so anyway, you can see I'm struggling a bit here. But I like to get them together, and then when they fit together perfectly, give it a good press and let it dry. And then you have a fun gatefold card base. There are layering pieces that are included, so I have cut them from this patterned paper, this kind of cable knit. So fun. And then I will glue that onto each panel. And then to conclude the front of the card, I'm going to use that sweater and add it to the front to close up my gatefold. So there we go. And then I have a circle of ocean cardstock that I'm going to run through my diamond press machine and my little tabletop machine. And then I will have a circle to add my sweater. Onto my circle, I should say. So I'm just going to glue this down, and then I'll glue half of the circle. And then I will be able to close this card any way I want. So you could always add, like, I've seen people do Velcro. I tend to use a ribbon. I like to do a ribbon. Usually on my cards are twine. And so I found this beautiful red ribbon that was in a card kit a few months ago. And I'm going to use that to seal it up. But before I do that, I wanted to stamp another sentiment. I've got a piece of powdered sugar cardstock here, and I am going to stamp that with Pool, wishing you a wonderful winter. And then I'm going to add a few more of these cute little sticker elements inside my card to finish this off. And then I can seal it up. So cute. I love these little stickers. Very, very cute. They'd be very cute to seal the envelopes of your cards too. All right, so I'm going to layer this in here. This is 4 by 5 1/4, that paper. And then I can close this up with my ribbon. So I didn't want to block all of my sweater because it's just too cute. And so I'm going to pull my ribbon down here and then just knot that off. And so when the recipient receives it, it should still be closed easily. And then they can just kind of slide that off to see what is inside. All right, next up, this is an A1 size card. I told you I'd tell you when I had a smaller one. It is an A1, so it's a little bit smaller. This was in a card kit a few months back, and I have really loved it. I thought it would be a good idea to make some thanks and thank you cards, and so I used this thanks die, and then I'm going to just directly add that sweater. I have a few of these epoxy little pearls, and this one fits on his little reindeer nose perfectly. So I will use that to finish that card off. All right, so I know I'm flying through, but here's one more. This is the pillow box. This is if I had to pick one die from Stamps of Life. Sorry about the camera. This is the die that I don't think I could ever part with. I have used this a million times. I like to make little things for gift cards. I have teenagers, and we give a lot of gift cards at the holidays and birthdays and things like that, and little gift cards. And so these are great. This little die is so great for this. So I've got a sweater, another sweater here that I'm going to tie on there. And before I tie my twine on, I want to close my box. So I've glued it and let it dry. It's got these little finger notches that you just put inside, and then you can easily open your box for the gift recipient. Candy fits in here, little candy bars fit in here, and it's just great. And so I'm going to tie this twine on here, and then I have this For You tag. I think the tag is still for sale in the store. The For You is not. That was a little freebie from long ago, but this tag shape is still in the store, and I'll link that in the description. But I wanted to put this cute little tag on there, and then you could put a message on the back. So I'm just tying this off with a little bit more of that twine, and then this little gift bag is ready to go. And there we go with one little treat container. So, so, so cute. All right, so thanks for staying with me when I went off course a little bit with doing some fall cards, but I just had to with this cute sweater set. So leave me a comment. Let me know if you have a favorite. And let me know, too, if you've ever worn a crazy sweater. I know they're very trendy now, and everybody has one, it seems like. So let me know if you enjoy wearing a sweater over the holidays or a fun themed sweater. But thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions about the club, the card kit, I've got all of that linked in the description. If you have any other questions, leave me a message and I'll get back to you. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.